Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Kylie Lapira, CEO of the Melanoma Research Foundation. Today, we are very excited to have a special conversation with Dreamfinders Home, our presenting sponsor of the 5th annual #GetNakedJax event in Jacksonville, Florida. This event started 5+ years ago by a melanoma survivor who was very passionate about bringing awareness and prevention messaging around melanoma to the Florida community. He was very inspired by the MRF's #GetNaked campaign, and thus #GetNakedJax was born. To date, this incredible event has raised over $630,000 for melanoma research, from the Foundation's first pediatric melanoma research grant to an annual Women in Science Award to cutting-edge treatments in immunotherapy and brain metastases research and treatment. Dreamfinders Homes generously sponsored our event last year, and we're thrilled to welcome them back again this year as our presenting sponsor. Our event is right around the corner, taking place this fall on Thursday, October 18th at TPC Sawgrass in Ponte Vedra Beach. And today I'm so excited to be joined by TJ Streit, the Vice President of Marketing for Dreamfinders Homes. TJ has been with Dreamfinders Homes since 2022 as the VP of Marketing. His focus is on Dreamfinders Homes strategic partnerships, including the official home builder of the PGA Tour, which is pretty cool, NFL's Jacksonville Jaguars, and the University of Florida. Beyond the sports partnerships, the strategic initiatives of Dreamfinders in the philanthropic space include key programs like being the presenting sponsor of this year's Get Naked Jax event in Jacksonville and other important community initiatives. So a very special thank you to Dreamfinders Homes for being a generous and passionate partner in this event. And we would love to give our audience a chance to hear more about what drives that commitment. So TJ, I have a few questions for you as we dive into what the inspiration is behind Dreamfinders' generosity, values, and hopes for this year's event. So I
Thank
will
you.
kick it off with our first question, which is, what inspired Dreamfinders Homes to get involved with this event, and what are you most looking forward to?
Well, thank you. Thank you for the kind intro and all the important details that you preceded that with. It is exciting to be back in year two. I remember when the host of the event and the originator, Jason Sessions, started this a few years back. And in 2024, we were discussing Dreamfinders being a bigger part of that event. It has raised, as you said, over $600,000, which is fantastic. All of which going to the research. I think the why of this event is one, Jason. Being a survivor, being so passionate about it. He's very connected in the Jacksonville community, which Jacksonville, Florida is our headquarters. And has been since we were incepted in 2009, and now here in 2025, we've begun to really become more a fabric of the community, and events like this and hosts like the MRF and Jason for Get Naked Jax is obviously the first reason why we did this, and we're proud to be back a second year as the presenting sponsor. Number two, it's very it's at our core and in our fabric with regards to construction and being outside all day, and the need for SPF education and sunscreen and just that story that goes with it, with a lot of the folks out there building the homes that make up our business. That is why I think the research and what the funds go to is so important to us. I think finding strategic partners like this is what we do, and with any of our philanthropy and any of our marketing initiatives, just to make sure that they're going to the right place. And with you guys, I think we know that 100% of it is going towards the funding, and I think that's really. Between Jason and our core business being outside, predominantly Monday through Friday and throughout the week all day, it made it easy.
Well, that's great. And you guys have been an incredible partner. And, it's so important to really highlight the sun safety factor. And I think you guys are really living that in terms of supporting this event, but also the education that you're providing back to your employees, which is just so critical because this is a disease that we can prevent, which is really important to get that message out. So
Mhm.
you talked a little bit about this, but in terms of Dreamfinder's values and missions, this is a really important partnership and would love to know a little bit more about kind of, how this partnership aligns and what are you excited about for this year's event?
I think obviously being our hometown market, makes it easy to, but when you are one of the largest public corporations in town, there's a lot of opportunity to support a lot of unbelievable organizations. And I think it's just the mission of of what I mentioned earlier is it's employee driven, and it's our,
Mhm.
it's our vendors and our partners driven with regards to the sun safety. And that is, that's at the core. I think also the philanthropic efforts throughout Jacksonville, and just continuing to ensure that the money that we do outlay is going to to the right organizations, and that we know where it's being spent. Sometimes that's hard to track or follow. You guys have been very straightforward that 100% of it goes to that. It's exciting because we also get to show off a little bit of our other strategic partnerships, because we do a couple of great auction items at the event. We allow a couple people to bid on the stadium course at TPC Sawgrass for a chalet on the 17th hole, the Island Green. It's where the event is going to be hosted here in a couple weeks, and right on the back lawn of TPC Sawgrass, which you cannot ask for a better venue in Jacksonville. And we give away a couple of Jaguars tickets to highlight our Jaguars partnership here locally. But I think then, back to the values and the mission, it's just, besides those fun elements, it's showing our employees as well what we're doing. And because the publicity the event gets here in Jacksonville, and how it's promoted, and putting our name at the top, being the presenting sponsor, I think they can be proud of both this and some of the other strategic initiatives that we do throughout the city.
No, it's great. And as you touched on earlier, TJ, raising over 630,000 for melanoma research at a time where unfortunately research funding is getting cut on the federal level, and there's such a demand on foundations like the MRF to really lean in and support more research that will ultimately benefit patients, and that is the goal, is to fund research that will lead to a cure for people who have melanoma. So we're incredibly grateful to Dreamfinders for your support, but also for the awareness you're creating in the Jacksonville community about this event and about the MRF and the host of other resources that we have at the foundation in terms of education and awareness as well.
Just what you said. I mean, I spoke with Jason this week in advance of us chatting, and his whole position on the cutting of the funding, and the importance of these type of the demand for these events being that much more important to ensure that the funding continues for cancer research. I think it really just emboldens the reason why we're so happy to be a part of it.
No, well, it's great. And the support is critical. It's coming at a critical time. This is, again, a disease that is on the rise. So the more we can fund research and help people who are currently fighting is so critical. So a big thank you to you and the entire Dreamfinders community for your support. We are really excited about the event, again, coming up next month, October 16th, on the lawn at TPC Sawgrass in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. We're going to kick off at 6 p.m. and we're going to come together and we're going to raise awareness and a lot of funds for melanoma research. So it'll be a really unforgettable evening. And again, a lot of inspiring stories. We're going to hear from patients. We're going to hear from clinicians, amazing auction items that you mentioned. And again, just bringing together an incredible community in the fight against melanoma. So for all of you all, don't miss your chance to be part of a meaningful evening. You can purchase a ticket or a sponsorship by heading to getnakedjacks.org. Thanks again, TJ.
You got it. Let's fill the lawn up.